Are you able to see the screen, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the last class, I stopped at the relationship between Cartesian and cylindrical systems. Okay, we have obtained the relationship between Cartesian and cylindrical systems. Next is, we'll take one example here. Note down this example. Consider a cylinder of length L and radius R. Obtain its volume by integration. Note down the example. Consider a cylinder of length L and radius R. Obtain its volume by integration. Note down the figure quickly. Did you all note down, students? Noted down. Is it noted down, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here they have given the cylinder. The length of the cylinder is from 0 to L. That is, length is L, right? And the radius is from 0 to R, right? 0 to R, that is the radius of the cylinder. Okay. Then using these, we have to find the volume of the cylinder by the integration method. Okay. Whenever we come to the volume of the cylinder, or whenever you come to the volume of any shape, okay, it is double integral or triple integral. What you have studied in your mathematics. How you are finding the volume? Is it double integration or triple integration?
Triple, sir.
Triple integration, exactly. It is triple integration. Okay. Similarly, here also we are taking the triple integration as to find the volume of this cylinder. Here there are the three axes, as we know that X, Y, and Z axis. Okay, then they have given the radius R, length L. Then this is Z axis. The perpendicular, it is AZ bar along the Z axis. Then this is the area, that is S1. This is the bottom area or the base area, S2. And the circular area, okay, it is S3. The circular area, right? It is a cylinder. So it is a curve. Okay. It is a curve, enclosed curve. Fine. So that area is S3. Okay. Then the radius AR perpendicular to that is AR bar. Now let us see how to find the volume of this cylinder. First, we have to know the differential volume in the cylindrical coordinate system. What is the differential volume in the cylindrical coordinate system? We have dealt that in the last class. That is the differential volume in the cylindrical coordinate system. Differential volume in the cylindrical coordinate system is given by the equation dV, right? dV is equal to R dr d phi dz. dV is given by R dr d phi dz. This is the differential volume in the cylindrical coordinate system. This we have done in the last class, correct? When we are discussing about the differential elements in cylindrical coordinate system. Once we know this, dV is equal to R dr d phi dz. What is dV, students? It is dV is equal to R dr d phi dz. Next, we have to find the limits of R, phi, and z. If you want to integrate, you have to know the limits, is it not? Now, what is the limit of R? Limit of R is from 0 to R. 0 is the lower limit and the upper limit is capital R. Similarly, what is the limit of Z? Z, it is from 0 to L. 0 to L. 0 is the base and L, capital L is the, that is the top surface. The length is L, capital L. Then the angle phi, as we know that last class we have dealt in the cylindrical coordinate system, it is the half plane, the angle subtended half plane, it is the angle phi, correct? That angle, it is nothing but the angle phi, it is 0 to 2 pi, 0 to 2 pi. Okay, it rotates one complete rotation. It is 0 to 360 degrees. Okay, these are the limits. Now we came to know the limits. For given cylinder, R varies from 0 to R, Z varies from 0 to L, while phi varies from 0 to 2 pi radians, or 0 to 2 pi. Now substitute these limits. These are the limits of integration. Therefore, volume of cylinder is given by the limit 0 to L. Okay, that is 0 to L is for Z, dz. Then 0 to 2 pi. 0 to 2 pi is for the angle phi. So it is R d phi that we have studied in our previous class. How it is R d phi, the arc length. Then for R, the radius, it is 0 to R. That is for the R. Now, friends, note down this formula. Volume of cylinder is integration 0 to L. Okay, triple integration, that is from 0 to L, 0 to 2 pi, 0 to R, R dr d phi dz. Okay, note down this. Volume of cylinder equal to integration 0 to L, integration 0 to 2 pi, integration 0 to R, R dr d phi dz. Then perform the integration, triple integration. You know how to find the integration. Okay, you have studied in your mathematics. Okay, according to the integration rule or the integration method, whatever you are following, okay, accordingly solve that and tell me what is the final answer you get, the volume of the cylinder. This is the main formula. 0 to L, 0 to 2 pi, 0 to R, R dr d phi dz. Okay, first note down this volume of cylinder formula, this one. Then go on for finding the triple integration. You know how to find the triple integration. One by one, you go on taking the integration. First, you can take for the inner term, that is 0 to R. Okay, inner term 0 to R. Then you go on taking for the others. Okay, accordingly, you find out the triple integration of this and tell me the answer. Tell me the answer.
Sir, pi L, sir.
Pi L. Anybody got any different answer? Anybody getting any different answer other than pi L? Yes?
Sir, sorry, sir. It's pi L R square, sir. Capital R square. Pi L R
Pi L
square.
capital R square. Okay, we'll see that. Anybody getting any other answers? Anybody getting any different answers? Yes, please. Any different answers, students? Ankita, any different answer? Ankita? Harsh Gowda? Harsh Gowda?
Sir, I
Any
only
different
told
answer?
that pi.
You only told. Okay, fine, good. Okay. Next, Janvi. Janvi. Any different answer, Janvi? If it is same, you tell the same answer. If it is different one, you can tell the different answer. Kirti. Kirti. Prajwal Gowda. Prajwal Gowda. Yes, please. Prajwal Gowda. Ratan. Ratan. Birje. It's a simple method. You are finding the triple integration. Rutik Chopde.
Sir,
Rutik.
it's same, sir. Pi r square L.
Very good. Pi r square L. Rutvik.
Same, sir. Pi r square L, sir.
Correct. So you all are right. Okay, you have solved it correct. Very good. Now, how we are finding that? 0 to L, 0 to 2 pi. So first is the inner term, that is R. Okay, the inner term small r, its integration is, that is x integration is x square by 2. Hence it is r square by 2 over the limits 0 to r. Then d phi dz, d phi dz. Okay. Next we are finding r square by 2. We have taken it outside. Integration 0 to L. Okay. Next we are substituting for the phi. So if we integrate d phi with respect to phi, it is phi over the limits 0 to 2 pi. Is it not? So it is phi over the limits 0 to 2 pi, then dz. Hence we are getting 2 pi minus 0. Upper limit is 2 pi, lower limit is 0. 2 pi minus 0 is 2 pi only. That is 2 pi r square by 2 over the limits. Then next integrate the dz. Integration of dz with respect to z is z over the limits 0 to L. Is it not? Then integrate this, that is substitute the limits. Integration of dz is z over the limits 0 to L. It will be 2 pi r square by 2 into L minus 0. L minus 0 is L. Hence 2 and 2 will cancel and we'll get pi r square L. Pi r square L. Okay. This is how we have to solve this example, students. The examination, if they ask the particular example to find the cylinder of length, that is to find the volume of the cylinder given the length L and radius R by integration method. This is how you have to proceed in finding the volume of the cylinder. Fine. Next, we'll take one more example. Note down this, students. Calculate the total surface area of the cylinder having length L and a radius R by the method of integration. Calculate the total surface area of the cylinder having length L and radius R by the method of integration. Note down the particular example. Figure is same. Whatever figure you have taken for example 1, the same figure for the example 2 also. Note down the question first. Did you all note on the question, students? Note on the question just.
Sir, screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible. 1 minute, I'll just check. Just check.
No, sir, it is visible.
Visible? No, I think something, maybe just check your this thing, your system. Harsh Gowda. Everything is okay here. Presenting is also coming. Okay, recording is also there. Just check Harsh Gowda.
Sir, just told me, sir. Sir,
Now it
it's
is
not
coming.
me, sir. Sir,
It's
it
not
No,
is
sir.
visible to me, sir.
Okay. Somebody told no who for whom it is not visible.
Tejas, sir.
Tejas. Tejas. Okay. Tejas. It is now. It is visible.
No,
Tejas.
sir, it is not visible.
Not visible. Anybody? Any problem in the screen?
No, sir.
Any problem?
Voice is also
Voice is breaking.
Yes,
No,
sir,
sir.
you are audible.
yes, sir.
I'm audible. No, no problem. No. Okay. Please, Tejas, you just check your system once. Huh? Just check once.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
For others, it is
Okay,
okay.
sir.
Just check once. Okay. Yes. Then come back.
Okay.
Fine. Now let us consider the same cylinder what we considered for the first example. Now how to find the area of the cylinder, students? Surface area you are finding. How you are finding? What is the way in finding the surface area of the cylinder? You already done this in your mathematics. Once again, I will do it here. So this is the top surface. Okay. First we are finding the area of the top surface. Then we find the area of the bottom surface. Is the area of the bottom surface the same as the top surface? Yes. Yes or no? Area of the bottom surface is same as the top surface because both are in parallel. Correct? And it is a cylinder. Right? And then next we are finding the curved surface. Okay, the curved surface. Okay, students, the curved surface area. So it is S1 plus S2 plus S3. S1, the upper surface, S2, the bottom surface, then the curved surface, the circular one, the curved surface. Okay, that is S3. Okay. Now, how to find the area of S1, S2, and S3? Consider the upper surface area that is normal to which is AZ bar. Upper surface area when we are considering here, normal to that is AZ bar. AZ bar is the surface area normal, that is a unit vector normal to the upper surface, AZ bar. Okay, consider that surface. When we are considering that surface, then what are the that is say coordinates that come into picture here? This is Z, AZ bar. The other coordinates will be, one is R, remaining is R. Leave this AZ bar. Okay. The other one is R, correct? R. Then another one is, this is R. Then one more R. This will be R into.
2R. 2R.
No, not like that. Not 2R, not like that. I'm just telling about the coordinates. Okay. So one will be the R into, that is a dr, sorry, dr. This R coordinate will be dr. Then for the angle phi it is arc length, that is R into d phi. Correct? That we have seen in our previous class. Is it not? So one is dr, this coordinate. Another one is R into d phi. Those two coordinates other than the unit vector in this direction AZ bar, leaving this direction. Is it not? Then we'll write that first. We'll write it. As a differential surface area normal to Z direction is R d phi dr. It is R d phi dr as shown in the above figure. Let us now find the integration of that. For the area it is double integration. If it is line integral, it is single integral. If it is area integral, it is double integral. If it is volume integral, it is triple integration. Please remember this. Line integral is a single integral. And if it is integral of the area, then it is double. If it is integral of the volume, it is triple integral. Let us integrate this over the limits. The limit of R is 0 to R as we did for the first example. Then the limit of the angle phi is 0 to 2 pi, same as that of the first example. Then write it R d phi dr, R d phi dr. Okay. Then find the integration. How will find the integration, students? So this is integration 0 to 2 pi, integration of small r is r square by 2 over the limits 0 to r, okay. That will be capital, if you substitute this capital R, it will be capital R square by 2 into integration of d phi with respect to phi. The limits of the angle is 0 to 2 pi. Therefore, it will be r square by 2 into 2 pi minus 0. R square by 2 into 2 pi minus 0. Hence, it will be r square 2 pi by 2. Or 2 and 2 will get cancelled. Hence, it will be simply pi r square. Pi into capital R square. What about the surface area of the bottom surface, students? S2. How much it will be? Surface area of the bottom surface. Area of the bottom surface. This one, S2. How
Same.
much?
Same, sir.
Exactly. It will be same, that is pi r square only. Both are same, identical, they are in parallel, and hence the bottom surface area is also pi r square. Okay. Next, we'll move on to finding the curved surface. That's what I told, the curved surface, the side surface or the curved surface. Okay. If we want to find out that, then this is AR bar. This is AR bar perpendicular to the cylindrical surface or the perpendicular to the curved surface. I will go back and just highlight that. If you see here, you can see in this surface, the first one, AR bar. This is the curve, R d5, that arc length. This is dz, z axis. The perpendicular to that is AR bar. Okay? This is the curved surface of the cylinder, is it not? And hence we will be getting R d5 dz. The area will be R into d5 into dz. Correct? Let us write down that. For remaining surface, consider differential surface area normal to R direction, which is R d phi dz. It is R into d phi into dz. Because here we have AR bar, the remaining coordinates. The remaining coordinates will be, one will be R d phi, another one will be dz. Okay, in the z direction. R d phi dz. Hence, we'll write it as R d phi dz. R d phi dz. Once we have written this, next we have to integrate that. What are the limits? The limit of phi is 0 to 2 pi, it is same. Limit of the, that is the z direction, it is 0 to L. Length 0 to L it is. Now integrate and tell me what will be the S3 value, students. Integrate 0 to L, 0 to 2 pi over the, that is the data, that is R d phi dz. Tell me the answer. What is the area, students? How much you are getting?
Sir, 2 pi RL.
Exactly. Very good. 2 pi capital R into capital EL. How it is? Let us see quickly. We are taking R d phi dz. Okay. R is constant. Take it outside. Then integration of d phi is phi over the limit 0 to 2 pi. Integration of dz is z over the limit 0 to EL. Okay. Hence, if we simplify this, then we'll get 2 pi minus 0 is 2 pi, L minus 0 is L, 2 pi capital R into capital L. Next, find out the total surface area. The total surface area will be the sum of the three areas, that is S1, this surface area, plus bottom surface area, plus the curved surface area, the curved surface. Okay, S1 plus S2 plus S3. Okay, find out that, students. Just do the addition of whatever areas you have got till now. S1 plus S2 plus S3.
Sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, 2 pi RL plus pi R square plus pi R square.
Yes, yes, correct. That is pi R square plus pi R square will be 2 pi R square, is it not? Plus 2
Yes,
pi
sir.
RL. Still you can simplify that. Take 2 pi R common. What you will get? Take 2 pi R common.
Pi RL plus pi R square.
Pi RL plus pi R square. But what about 2 there? 2 you have left it out. 2 pi R will come into R plus L, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Correct? 2 pi R into R plus L. I'll show that. S1 plus S2 plus S3, pi R square plus 2 pi RL. Pi R square plus pi R square is 2 pi R square plus 2 pi R EL. Fine. Then take 2 pi R outside common. That will be R plus EL. Hence, we'll get 2 pi R into R plus EL. This is the total surface area of the given cylinder. Note that is the total surface area of the given cylinder. Whatever cylinder they have given, what all coordinates they have given, for this given cylinder, this given figure, total surface area is 2 pi r into r plus L. Clear here, students? I hope everybody are clear with these two examples. Any difficulty here? Yes? Any difficulty here? Up till now, any questions? Everybody are following, right? Yes, please.
Following, sir.
Everyone following. Okay, fine. Let me move ahead. Next system is the spherical coordinate system. Till now we have studied Cartesian coordinate system and cylindrical coordinate system. The third type of coordinate system is the spherical coordinate system. It is a sphere. You know the sphere, the ball. Okay, the cricket ball or your football, whatever it may be. The ball is nothing but it's just like a sphere. Okay, if we take it in 3 dimensions, let us see what all will be the coordinates of this sphere. Okay. The surfaces which are used to define the spherical coordinate system on the 3 Cartesian axes are. Let me explain that with the figure. This is the surface. One surface is the sphere. Here the circular surface with the radius r, constant radius r. That is one surface. This is one of the coordinates to define the sphere. Then another one is the right circular cone. This is the right circular cone. Okay, this is a cone. Any idea, students, what is meant by right circular cone? Anybody has any idea what is meant by right circular cone? What is the meaning of right circular cone, or what is right circular cone? Any idea? Anybody? Any idea, students? What is meant by right circular cone? Why it is called as right circular cone? If you have studied in your mathematics, you can recollect. Any idea? Okay. The meaning of right circular cone is the vertex or the apex of the cone. It is the line that joins this vertex or apex of the cone is to the center of the base of the cone. Okay. There is a line which is joining the vertex or the apex. This is the origin, right? This cone has the vertex or the apex at the origin. Is it not? From this vertex or apex, there is a line joining the to the center of the base, to the center of the base. And hence, when this line, it joins from the vertex of the cone to the center of the base of the cone, it is at the right angle. It is at the right angle to the base of the cone. And hence, it is called as a right circular cone. Right circular cone. Following here. This is one surface, which is one coordinate. Theta is one coordinate to define the spherical coordinate system. Okay. Then another one is the same as that for the cylindrical system. It is the angle phi. Okay. That is the half plane. What we are considering here, the half plane, which is making an angle phi with the xz plane. It is making an angle phi with the xz plane. Now, what is meant by all these figures? All these figures mean that these are the figures which are used, or the coordinates of the spherical coordinate system, or the coordinates which are used to define the spherical coordinate system. One is this circular surface with the radius r, the sphere. Then next one is the right circular cone. Okay, it forms a right circular cone like this. Okay, you can take the part of the sphere, it forms the right circular cone, right? And then it is subtending an angle theta. And the third surface is, it also subtends the half plane, making an angle phi with respect to the xz plane. Okay. That's what it is. Sphere of radius r, origin at the center of the sphere. A right circular cone with the apex at origin and z axis. Its half angle is theta. This is important here, students. You have to understand this. This is called as half angle. In the right circular cone, whatever the angle is subtended by the, that is the line joining vertex to the base, that is making an angle theta with its side surface of the cone, angle theta. Okay. Now tell me, students, if the cone if this cone rotates by an angle 360 degrees. Okay, so this is the angle. Suppose say if it is starting this, let us consider the reference angle as 0 degrees. If it is starting from here, okay, it makes a complete one revolution and it comes to its original position. It is 360 degrees. Now if it is 360 degrees, how much will be the angle theta? How much will be the angle theta? It is called as half angle, one thing. And another point is, when the right circular cone, when this cone rotates one complete revolution, when it is making an angle of 360 degree, how much will be this angle theta? Can you just think of it? Angle theta will be how much, friends?
180, sir.
Very good. It is 180 degrees because it is half angle. Okay, you can just look into this figure, just try to visualize here, try to imagine here. There is a half angle theta. When this surface, when this structure, the cone, when it rotates by 360 degrees, this is making just a half angle. Okay, this will be rotating just by half of that of the cone. That is, it is making a rotation of 180 degrees because it's the half angle. This line is bisecting this, correct? This line is bisecting the angle. It is half angle, and hence it is making an angle of just 180 degrees. Very important point. Okay. Next, a half plane that is making an angle phi with respect to the xz plane. The half plane which is making an angle phi with respect to the xz plane. Now to represent all this, we are taking a point P in the spherical coordinate system, which is at a position of r comma theta comma phi. This is these are all the surfaces that we have defined just now. Then we'll consider the point P of r comma theta comma phi. We'll see that if we are considering the point P of r comma theta comma phi, what will be the ranges of radius, the angle phi and the angle theta. In spherical coordinate system, we get two angles. Okay, one is angle phi. It is a full angle 0 to 2 pi. Okay, that is the angle subtended by this plane, half plane. It is full angle 2 pi. Then another angle is this angle theta, half angle. It is 0 to 180 degrees. Then the radius r, it varies from 0 to infinity. We cannot say the radius varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. Can the radius be minus? No, the radius can never be minus. Correct? It varies from 0 to infinity. Hence, the radius is varying from 0 to infinity. Hence, we say that the ranges are, the range of the radius is 0 to infinity, the angle phi range is 0 to 2 pi, and the angle theta, that is half angle, its range is 0 to pi. Now, what is the point that we are getting here? That is a point P of r comma theta comma phi, which is represented in the spherical coordinate system as shown here. This is our point P. Okay, this point P is at a radius r, at an angle theta, half angle theta, and at an angle phi. This is a plane here. There's a plane which is, I will be showing that in the next figure. There's a plane which comes here, the half plane. So because of that plane, it is making an angle phi with respect to the xz plane. Hence the point P is nothing but one at the angle theta, the radius r, and the angle phi. Okay. Angles theta and phi are measured in radians. The point P is defined as the intersection of the three surfaces in the spherical coordinate system. It is the point of intersection of the three surfaces. Hence, these three surfaces are, and just now we dealt with those surfaces. R equal to constant is a sphere with center at the origin. Theta equal to constant, a right circular cone with the apex as the origin. And phi equal to constant, a plane which is making an angle phi with respect to xz plane. The intersection of r equal to constant surface and right circular cone, that is theta equal to constant surface. Now look at this, students, it is interesting. Intersection of r equal to constant and theta equal to constant. R equal to constant. This is r equal to constant. Okay, this is radius r equal to constant, and theta equal to constant. Theta, correct? R equal, this is our r, radius r, and this is our angle theta. Okay, with respect to this line joining the apex and the base of the cone. Okay, now if it is intersecting, both of them are intersecting. One is this, that is a cone. Okay, another one is the sphere. Another one is the sphere. Okay, so when these two intersect, what we will get? See, one is the cone and another one is it is cutting the sphere. It is cutting the sphere. Okay. So what we'll get at the intersection of the sphere and the cone, right circular cone. Can you imagine here? We'll be getting the circular portion. This is what is the intersection that we are getting. This is the radius r, okay, and this is the angle theta. Hence, when this right circular cone intersects this sphere, then we'll be getting this circular portion at the point of intersection. At the point of intersection, there will be a circular region. Intersection of two surfaces is a horizontal circle. It's a circle. Clear here? What will be the radius r of this? What will be the radius r of this? This is the angle theta. This is the radius r. The arc length, this is given by the radius r multiplied by the sine of angle theta. Hence, it is r sine theta. The radius r of this, the radius, remember, it is the radius of the circle that is formed due to the intersection. That radius is r sine theta. The radius of the sphere is same. It is on a circular surface is same. It is r only. But what is the radius of the circle that is formed due to the intersection of the cone and the circle, or the intersection of the cone and the spherical surface? That is nothing but r sine theta. R multiplied by sine of angle theta. Is it not? Radius of the circle is r sine theta. Intersection of phi equal to constant plane with the intersection of r equal to constant and theta equal to constant planes is shown in the figure below. This is as shown in the figure below. Next, we'll see what will be the intersection of phi equal to constant, r equal to constant, and theta equal to constant. Let us try to imagine here. See, this is our theta equal to constant. Theta, this is our angle theta, half angle. This is radius r equal to constant, and this is phi equal to constant. Phi equal to constant. Okay, that is phi is our angle. This is just see here. This is structure. This is a structure that is the making an angle phi with respect to the xz plane. Correct? This surface. Here it is. This one. It is making an angle phi with respect to the xz plane. Now, if these three surfaces intersect, then what we will get? Look here. One is, this is the radius r. Fine. This is the radius r. Then we are getting the half angle theta. So this is our half angle theta that we got. Then when it comes to the plane, half plane, that is making an angle phi with respect to the xz plane, this is cutting here. This is cutting here. Okay. This is say it is subtending when it cuts here, this portion. Okay, this is exactly at this sphere where it is cutting all the three, and then it is like this. So this is cutting. This is a sphere. Okay, this is a sphere here. What we are having, this is a sphere, right? And then we are having a cone. Then the xy plane is cutting these two surfaces, the sphere and the circular cone. It is cutting. So where it cuts at the intersection, that is forming as just a point here. Exactly when it is cutting that plane, when it cuts here, okay, the radius r, the angle theta, the radius r, the angle theta, and the point of intersection. Try to visualize here. Wherever that plane is cutting, the plane that is formed, half plane, it is cutting these two surfaces. That forms a single point, and that point is the point P. This is the point P where it is intersecting. Hence, we say that when r equal to constant, theta equal to constant, and phi equal to constant, when they intersect, they result in a single point. That is a point P. That is a point P. Okay. This is how students will be getting a single point when all the three surfaces are intersecting. Okay. Next class, we will be taking up the base vectors or unit vectors, where we'll define the coordinates of this point P. Then we'll take up the differential surface elements of this spherical coordinate system. Okay, just as we have analyzed for the Cartesian and cylindrical coordinate system, then we'll move on to one particular example. Okay, then that is before that we will have a conversion from that is Cartesian to spherical system, relationship between Cartesian to spherical, and then we'll solve one example. that we will take up in the next class. Okay. What all we have covered in today's class, students? In today's class, we have solved examples. The example was first one to find the volume of the cylinder by integration method, given the figure, given this particular cylinder. Then the second example was on finding the surface area of the cylinder, given the same, the surface area of the cylinder. Next, we have taken the spherical coordinate system, where we have explained that there are three surfaces which are used to define the spherical coordinate system. The sphere of radius r, origin at the center of the sphere. Then a right circular cone. We came to know what is meant by right circular cone, which is forming an angle theta, half angle theta. When the cone rotates by 0 to 360 degrees, this half angle theta rotates just by half angle, that is 0 to 180 degrees, right? And then the plane, that is half plane, which is making an angle phi with respect to xz plane. These are the three surfaces. Then we next point was on the range of these variables. R varies from 0 to infinity, phi from 0 to 2 pi, and theta from 0 to pi. The point of intersection we found out when the surfaces, that is R equal to constant surface and theta equal to constant surface, when they intersect, what is the portion that is formed, the intersection area, that is nothing but a circular surface, as you are seeing here, the circular surface, and the radius of that circular surface is r, radius r multiplied by the sine of angle theta, it is r sine theta. The last point was on the intersection of theta equal to constant, r equal to constant, and phi equal to constant. When all these three intersect, then it results in a single point, that is a point P, which we can write it as P of r comma theta comma phi. Okay, if you write in the vector form, it will be P is equal to, that is PR AR bar plus P theta A theta bar plus P phi A phi bar. That will be the vector of the coordinate of the point P. Okay, vector for the vector coordinates of the point P. Okay, this is all for the today's class, students. Any questions here, students? Anything not understood in today's class? Any questions here, students? Yes, please. Any questions, students? Quickly.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, please. What happened? Yes, please.
When you will send the notes on this module,
I'll
sir?
send. I'll send. By today, I will send. Okay. On this model, I'll send the notes by today evening. I'll send the notes. Okay. I'll send them. Okay, no problem. Okay, fine. Anything else you want to ask, students? That's all. Okay, fine. Then we'll continue in the next class. Thank you.